Hey guys, welcome back to my channel today. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you guys my eyeshadow palette collection. I do believe I included all of my palettes in this video, so it is going to be a longer one today, but a lot of you guys have been asking for collection videos, and this is actually super fun to film every once in a while, so I figured I may as well do that today. Now, without further ado, let's get on to my eyeshadow palette collection. Starting off my collection, the first one is from Pat McGrath. This one is the Mothership Sublime Bronze Ambition Eye Palette, and this one is really beautiful. Love the shades in here, you guys. Lots of gorgeous bronze shades. I love the golden shade as well. This is one I've been really enjoying and definitely a hit from Pat McGrath for me. The next one is also from Pat McGrath. This one is the Mothership Sublime Bronze Temptation Eyeshadow Palette. This one is also gorgeous with the packaging built right in. This one has a gorgeous green tone and it also has some stunning shades. So really happy with this one as well. Love my two Pat McGrath palettes. This next one is from Nars. This is actually a recent one to my collection too. This is the Nars Skin Deep palette. Love this one. I actually think that this is a very underrated palette. Not very many people talk about this one, but I love how gorgeous this one is for everyday. Super stunning colors, and the performance of these is gorgeous. Next, we have a Anastasia palette. This one is the Anastasia Riviera palette. Also new to my collection. This one is a gorgeous, colorful palette. I don't really use her brushes, so you can see that the brush is still in its pack there, but the colors on these are so pretty. So definitely one of my favorites. The next palette in my collection is the Pretty Rich palette. This is from Too Faced. These are so pretty. I just am so happy to have this in my collection. Definitely a nice one from Too Faced. The next one to my collection is from Natasha Denona. This is the Tropic palette. This is probably my least favorite out of my entire Natasha collection, if I'm honest. I just don't seem to grab this one as much, but I do like how the color schemes are in this one, and she's got some really interesting pastels as well. So I love this one for if I do want a pop of color. The next one is actually from Too Faced. This one is a little cute like mini palette. This is the Tickled Peach one. I got this in like last holiday season. Gorgeous shades in this guy. I mean, so wearable. It smells like peaches. I just love the quality of these like tin packages as well. They're super, super nice. The next palette is from Tarte. This is the Rainforest of the Sea Volume 3 palette. This is also one I don't seem to grab as much on a regular basis. So I think I'm going to keep up this for now, but this is definitely on like the chopping block for me. I love it, but I'm not using it as much as I thought. A lot of these shades translate very similar on the lid, but I do love this palette for just like a simple, very easy look, and Tarte's formula is amazing. The next one is another Tarte palette. This one is the Be a Mermaid and Make Waves palette. This one is a gorgeous color scheme, one of my absolute favorites. This is also a discontinued palette, but I'm obsessed with it. I'm definitely going to keep it until it basically like rots out because I love it so much. This one is, just like my mermaid vibes are definitely fulfilled with this one. Next, let's talk about another palette that I love, but it's gone. This is the Master Palette by Mario. This is a collaboration with Anastasia Beverly Hills. This is one that is so messy, but so well loved. I've been using this nonstop probably for a few years now. I think this is like the ideal everyday palette for me, and I'm so sad that it's gone. So this is probably also going to be one that is going to be in my collection until the end of time, or until, you know, it's no longer usable. This next one is from Charlotte Tilbury. This is a cute little quad. This is the Exaggerized quad. This is one that also I've been using a lot for everyday looks. It has that pop of sultriness as well to this one. Very gorgeous and very easy to use formula as well. Next, I have a Tarte one. This is actually the Icy Betch palette. Don't be fooled by the outer packaging. This is the Energy Noir palette that they've recycled. So when you open it up, you will see the Icy Betch shades in here. They're so stunning. I love them. Very bright blues and like aquamarine kind of idea. And the highlight is super icy. So this is an interesting one, but new to my collection as well. And I'm definitely going to hang on to this one for a little while. Next, I have another Tarte palette. This is the Rainforest of the Sea Volume 1, I believe. And when you open it up, this one also has some gorgeous shades for every day. So I do like this one, but this one is also getting a little bit older as well in my collection. And like I said, with the Rainforest of the Sea Volume 3, this one also translates similarly on the lid. So I think I'm still going to hang on to this, but I wanted to show you what's in my collection. But this one is probably getting close to getting a little too old. Next, I have some Tom Ford quads. The first one is Nude Dip. This is one that is so stinking pretty. It's definitely more on the cool side. I love it though for like an everyday glowy, sheer kind of look. These are pigmented shadows, but they have like a glow to them that is unbelievable. And they're very, very easy to work with on the lid as well. New to my collection from the VIB sale, this is the second quad. This is the Honeymoon quad from Tom Ford. This one has just been swatched basically, hasn't been used yet. I'm really excited to dive into this one. I think this one is so pretty, you guys. Just like gorgeous colors, got that sultriness as well, and I'm really hoping that the formula is consistent with Nude Dip. Next, I have a Natasha Denona Holiday 5-pan palette. This one is, I believe, number 2 Heiress. Yeah, this one is Heiress. So this is no longer available actually, unfortunately, but this has some gorgeous shades in here and they're very unique, especially these 3. These are some of my favorite shades. They're so long wearing. They have like a gorgeous like gel kind of finish as well. So these are so pretty. Definitely hanging on to that. The next one is also the second holiday palette from Natasha Denona. This one is number 1 Joya, and this one has these pinks that I'm absolutely obsessed with, these 2 on the end. And then we also have this gorgeous bright yellow, and I just love how these shadows perform. Next, I have another Charlotte Tilbury quad. This one is the Dolce Vita. This is one I actually got in my Sephora bag when I went to the Sephora event. And this is super pretty, you guys. Love the sultriness of these shades. I think that the shades of this one is a little bit darker, but they're more like date night shades, and absolutely obsessed with this palette. I think it's a bestseller as well. Speaking of bestsellers, we have this one here, which is Pillow Talk. This one is so stinking pretty. I love how these shades are for like everyday gorgeous. They're like, ugh, some of my favorite shades. This pop shade is super stunning. I just love the look that you get with the eyes. Like for my brown eyes, these pinks really make them pop. So one of my absolute favorites. Next, I have the new Charlotte quad. This is the Dreamgasm quad, and these actually half of this palette is from different palettes. So this first one is from Dolce Vita, the second one is from Pillow Talk. This other half I believe is from another quad somewhere, but not in my collection, so I'm happy about that. Next, I have a Tarte Pro palette. This is the Tarte Pro Remix. This is from Tarte as well, and this one is very, very interesting with the like paint splatters in the back and lots of pops of color. I do like this one, but this one is probably my least used one out of my Tarte collection. It's nice to have these colors on hand though, in case I ever want to use them. Moving right along, this next one is from Urban Decay. This is the Born to Run palette. This is one that I've been very much obsessed with as well. Love the shades in this, and this one is perfect for travel, for any like look that you want basically for travel. If you want some greens or a pop of blue, or you want some pinks, this one has it all. So definitely one of my favorites, and I think this is one that Urban Decay has done the best on. This next one is from Viseart. This is the Paris Nudes palette. This is one that I actually might declutter because this is one I barely used and it's also starting to get pretty old. I do like the shades in here, but for some reason it's just not appealing to me lately. I think I'm just pulling other palettes, so maybe this one is just kind of losing interest in my collection. I don't know, but this one's also pretty old. So I think this is one I'm probably going to declutter. Next, I have a Lorac Pro palette. This is one that's also fairly new. This is one that has some gorgeous like purple, pinks, and a pop of gold in this one. I love the fact that these formulas are fantastic. They work great on the eye. And the second Lorac palette that I have is actually the Lorac Pro, the original. This is one that's been in my collection for a long time as well. I love the colors in here. This is one that I think I might still have a few months on, so I'm going to keep it because it's so stunning for every day, but it is kind of getting on the old side, so I'll keep an eye out for that one. Next, I have the MAC. This is the, I think, 16 warm neutrals. Nope, 15 warm neutral eyeshadow palette. So this is one that's also been in my collection for a while. I really love these shades though. Perfect for like just very easy to do looks. And the shadow quality of these is really, really nice. Consistently very beautiful. I feel like they're very good for beginners as well. And you can't go wrong with having some shades like this because you know you're going to use something like this pretty often. So I love that one. Next, let's go into my Marc Jacobs collection. The first one here is Glambition. This one is super stunning, you guys. Love the shades in here. Marc Jacobs quality is bar none, one of the best ever. And I love the fact that these shades are super easy to use. This is another one in my collection. This is Flamboyant. This one is very much like an African safari type style. I love this like for, I don't know, just like gorgeous. They're definitely everyday colors, but you have a little hint of some kind of sultriness to them. They're so, so pretty. Next, I have Scandalous. This is another one that is so pretty. I mean, I'm going to say this a lot, you guys, so I'm obsessed with my collection. This is my own collection, so there's going to be some lovely palettes in here, but I'm obsessed with this one as well. Talk about a gorgeous color scheme. This is definitely another beautiful one from Marc Jacobs. This next one is from Anastasia Beverly Hills. It's just a cute little quad that she recently released. And these are some gorgeous shadows, you guys. The looks you can get with this is so easy and super, super simple. So I love this one. The palette, I forget what this one is called because it doesn't have a name on anything, but these are like bigger pans of her eyeshadows. And this one is also super pretty. Next, I have another Charlotte Tilbury palette. This one is the Icon. This was so nice, you guys. Love the reflective packaging, and as you can see, it is very well loved. So gorgeous, very easy to apply. I love that these just glide over the lid. These are so pretty, one of my absolute favorites. This next one is from Huda Beauty. This is Coral Obsessions, and this is one, I think this is the only Obsessions palette I have in my collection. This is so stunning because it's a coral scheme, perfect for summer. I'm obsessed with this, and this is one that I use a lot during these warmer months, so I can't wait to dive right into this one again. I forgot one last palette from Marc Jacobs. This is Stiletto, and this one is so pretty, you guys. All cool toned, love these shades. I think that this one is a standout shade in this palette, this gorgeous like blue, purple, sparkly one. Obsessed with this one as well. Next, I'm going to go into some Natasha Denona. The first one is the Mini Nude. This is one that I really like, and this is one that I've used actually a lot when I travel. So really easy and compact to travel with. I love the quality of these shadows. I think that these are definitely better than this next one that I'm going to show you. This is the Mini Sunset. This one has some flaws to it for sure, but I do think it's still very workable, and it's just not as good as the Mini Nude, and then certainly not as good as her big palettes, but I've definitely been enjoying that one as well. Next, I have one of her 5-pan palettes. This is one I rarely use actually, so I'm gonna have to really get into this one again, but this is one that's so pretty, and the packaging is very minimal. This one is called number 2. So I know that they don't have a lot of names, just numbers for this one, but super gorgeous color scheme with this. Wow, really, really love this. I'm glad I found it. Next, I have one from Pat McGrath. This one is also fairly new. This is the Eye Ecstasy palette, and this is one that I've also been really enjoying. Love the colors of this one. There's definitely some repeats from her other palettes in here, but I do think that this one is so pretty as well. The next one is from Kevyn Aucoin. This is the Nude Pop palette. I'm just going to go through these really quick just so that it's not a super long video, but this is also really pretty. Love the color scheme of this, and these are also really beautiful pigmented shadows. So definitely obsessed with this one as well. Next, I have a Too Faced one. This is Gingerbread Spice. This one is no longer available, unfortunately, but I love this one. Such a gorgeous color scheme, and this one was from this past holiday. So very pretty. It also smells like gingerbread, so that I am not minding at all. Next, I'm going to show you the only ColourPop palette in my collection. I mean, as you guys know, I'm a high-end junkie, so this isn't too surprising, but this one's called Give It To Me Straight. It's also pretty messy, and it's also a little bit older, but I love the colors in this one. So super pretty. I mean, ColourPop has a great formula, like there's no doubt about that. This is a gorgeous, really affordable formula, and I definitely love this one too, not gonna lie. Next, I have the Fenty Beauty Moroccan Spice palette. This is also one that I purchased maybe a couple months ago now, and I've been really obsessed with this one too. I love how easy these are to work with. I love the shimmers in these. This is a very nice beginner palette too, in my opinion. I think this is one of Fenty's best releases, in my opinion. Next, I have the only Dominque Cosmetics palette in my collection. This is Berries and Cream. This is one that I need to use a lot more of, you guys, because I like it, but it's just not grabbing me as much as I thought it would. So The shades that I'm like most obsessed with are definitely these on the end. They're so stinking pretty, but I just need to use this one a lot more. So I will definitely put this at the top of my pile just so I'm reminded. Next, I have another Tarte palette. This is Maneater. This is a gorgeous one. Definitely top 3 from Tarte, in my opinion. It's super, super pretty, gorgeous for every day. And these colors, you can't go wrong. I think they'd flatter everyone. Next, I have the new Nude palette from Huda Beauty. This is also one that is so pretty. Oh, I love this. I never thought I would, but I really am obsessed with it. Got this also later last year, and this is one that I am so happy I have in my collection. Look how pretty these colors are. Next, I have the Too Faced Natural Lust palette. This is one that's also fairly new. The color scheme on this is so pretty. Ugh, I love this. I do think some of them you have to build up a little bit more on the lid versus the others, but I do think that this is a gorgeous beginner palette. Like if you don't have shades like this is a good palette to start off with because Too Faced formula is really easy to use. This next one is from Violet Voss. This is the Violet Voss Pro eyeshadows, and this is in HG. I think that stands for Holy Grail, but anyway, this is actually one I'm going to declutter, you guys, because it's just because I don't really use this one. So I'm going to pass this along because this isn't one I'm using a lot of, and that way someone else will use a lot more of it. Next, I have the Aspen Ovard and Tarte palette. This is also discontinued. This is a super pretty palette though. Obsessed with the colors in this. I use this a lot as well. As you can see, it's pretty messy in there, but this is perfect for just lots of gorgeous looks with this one. There's a gorgeous blush in here and a gorgeous highlight. I think that she did a great job with this palette and I am obsessed with it. This next one is also from Violet Voss. This is Flamingo. This is a gorgeous, colorful palette as well. Not my favorite packaging, but some of these colors are really, really pretty. But I think I might pass this one along as well because now I have some gorgeous colors in a formula that I love in the Anastasia formula. So I think I'm going to pass this one along as well. Next, I have this Nars palette. This is the Ignited palette. This is also one that is so pretty, you guys. I'm obsessed with it. I love the colors in here. This is one that I think is also a perfect formula to work with. I think there's only one patchy shade in this entire palette. I think it's this deep one, if I'm not mistaken. But this is one that's also really, really pretty. This next one is also from Viseart. This is Golden Hour. This is one I completely forgot to try, you guys. I put it away and then forgot. So anyways, I'm going to put this at the top and make sure that I try it because this was a really pretty palette as well. Definitely interesting with the color scheme, but I do like the colors in this one. So I'm definitely going to try this one right away. Next, I have another Tarte palette. This is the Adelaine Morin palette, and this is also a really beautiful package with this one. This one is super pretty as well. Love the pop of orange and yellow in this one, and this is also a new one to my collection, and I'm definitely loving this one too. Lastly, before I clear the screen a little bit more, this is from Tarte as well. This is another gorgeous new release from them, and this one is called High Tides and Good Vibes. So I'm going to open this one up for you and show you the inside. So stinking pretty. I'm obsessed with it. Love the colors, love the glitter shades. This is another one that is so pretty. Okay, let's get into Natasha Denona again. This next one is Natasha Denona Gold. I'm obsessed with this one. This is the inside of this. It looks so pretty. I mean, I'm obsessed with it. A lot of these shades are pretty close though. That's the only thing that I'll let you know on when it comes to this one here or this one or this one. They're all pretty close on the lid, but I love the golds in here that it makes it so worth it. And that pop of blue is so pretty. Next, I have Leela. This is one of my favorites from her. And do you die? This is a super pretty color scheme. I love the color story. Wow, this is so gorgeous. Definitely one that I think if you are fairly new to her collection, this is one that you cannot go wrong with. Next, I have the Tartelette Toasted palette. This is also one I've been really impressed with. I love the color scheme of this one. Very wearable, warm toned, gorgeous, beautiful shades in here. Next, I have more Anastasia. This is the Modern Renaissance palette. This is also one that I've kind of forgotten about, so I need to dive into it a little bit more, but I think this might be my very first Anastasia palette. Obsessed with it though. I love the colors. This is very bridal to me, so this is also a gorgeous one. Next, I have Soft Glam. This is another one that's really pretty. I've been using this one probably the most out of all of the palettes from her, I think. But I love the colors in here as well. And Sultry is so pretty, rose pink, all of these are just really nice for everyday looks. Next, I have this Viseart Petit Pro palette, and this is one that I like completely forgot about, if I'm honest. Really nice, gorgeous shades, but I think I'm going to pass this along because I literally never ever use it. I've used it a few times since I got it, and I liked it. It was okay, but I think this is one that I'm just going to pass along to someone that will use it more than I will. Next, I have this Tarte palette here. This is the, let's see, Rainforest of the Sea Sizzle, I believe. This one is so pretty as well. I actually think out of all the Rainforest of the Sea ones, this one has the most diversity among the shades, and I love the color scheme of this, and the outer packaging is also to die for. Next, I have a Too Faced one. This is Sugar Cookie. This is also a gorgeous one, and it smells so nice, you guys. I need to use this one more, though, because this is much more of a cool tone palette versus the peach one that I already showed you, but this is also so stinking pretty. Now let's talk about the new Natasha Denona that I just added in my collection. This is Natasha Denona Biba, and this is one that is so pretty, you guys. I'm so glad that I caved and got this one because how pretty is it? Ugh, I'm loving it. So, so nice. Next is one of my favorites. This is also from Natasha Denona, and this is Sunset. This is one that I also think is so pretty, you guys. This is one that I clean around the edges like regularly because I don't like when they're that messy, so I try my best. But look at this color scheme. Do you die? Like, this is one that if you only want one Sunset palette, I think you'd be totally fine with just this one. The next palette is Norvina. This is also from Anastasia, and this is one that's also really pretty. I do like the purple tones in this one, and Soul is one of my favorite shades, which is that gorgeous like purpley one right here. But this is one that I think I need to use more of, but it's still so stinking gorgeous. So I can't wait to use more of it, and I'm really happy it's in my collection because it's definitely one of my faves. Next, I have this one. This is the Tarte Love, Trust, and Fairy Dust palette. This is also one that is so pretty. I love this gorgeous shade right in the center, and this is a gorgeous one. I do think out of the Love, Trust, and Fairy Dust and the Sizzle palette, this one is probably a little bit better for like how much I love it, but I do love both of them. So it's hard to say, but if I had to pick between the two, definitely this one. Next, I have the Tartelette in Bloom palette. This is really old though, really, really old. So I need to make sure this is still usable, but I love the shades in here. I think that these are perfect for every day. Like, they do neutrals so well, there's no doubt about that. And I just love how this one is so user-friendly. So another gorgeous one from Tarte. Next, I have another 5-pan Natasha Denona palette. This one is so pretty as well. Love the copper and brassy tones in here. And this is one, though, that I don't really use a ton. So I might have to really grab this one a little bit more. But this one is number 4 from them. So I do like it, but I do need to be reminded to use it more. So this is definitely a pretty one. This one is almost like a sparkly white, so you can tell in my lights that it's basically getting washed out. But it is so pretty as well. Next, we have another Anastasia palette. This is Sultry, and this is one that I use a ton as well, you guys. Definitely loving the color scheme of this. I love that these are like gorgeous brown sparkly shades with like a rose gold or rose quartz kind of color. And the gray in here is beautiful. Cyborg is a gorgeous shade. So this is one that I honestly always recommend because it's such a pretty palette. Next, I have the Too Faced Just Peachy Mattes. This is also one I've really been loving. This is all mattes, of course, so there's no shimmers in this one, but this one is also one that smells gorgeous like peach, and love the colors of this. Super, super nice. Love it for summer. Next, I have another Too Faced palette. This is the, let's see, Razzle Dazzle Berry Eyeshadow palette. There we go. This is from Tutti Frutti, and this is a really, really pretty palette as well, you guys. This shade right here is so soft that I absolutely love it, but you have to be careful. Same with this purple on the end. So I use these with my finger, but I love this palette as well. I have a lot of shades like this, but I don't even mind because those are palettes that I use. Next, I have another one that's semi-new to my collection. This is Too Faced Chocolate Gold. This is one that I've been so obsessed with. Ugh, love the colors in here, you guys. They're so, so pretty. I love them. Love Moneybags, which is that green, this dripping diamonds here, sassy and classy. Ugh, they're so good. Definitely a beautiful one, and everybody loves this one, I think. Next, I have the Stars in Your Eyes palette. This is from Charlotte Tilbury. I love this one too. These are all grouped into a look, which is perfect, very easy to follow, and you can also just go off grid and do whatever you want, but I love this palette. I think it's also super pretty. Next, I have another Charlotte Tilbury quad that I also forgot is just buried deep in here. This is Supersonic Girl, so it's all pop shades. This is such a beautiful quad. I am just obsessed with it. All right, guys, that's it for my eyeshadow palette collection today. I really hope you guys enjoyed seeing that. Definitely let me know down below what is your favorite eyeshadow palette, or are there palettes that I don't have that you recommend I pick up and test out, because I would love to hear your thoughts. And until my next video, guys, take care. Thanks so much for watching. Bye, guys.
You and me, everything that we've been through has made us strong. You won't believe we've had our gray, but somewhere there's a light inside of us. It shows the way.